dare you try to know this thing? And that was in the negative. Amen. But she wanted, because she heard a lesson on the dead, so she wanted to access the realm of the dead without permission. Amen. So she wanted to access it. So the whole thing about it, she wanted to know who did this to her parents, who did this to that, who did this to that. And the forces were angry. The thing about it, if that can happen in the corners of darkness, how much more in the kingdom of God? That you can hear a lesson and say, I want to access this. And angels can be like, man, who is this person? Who is that person? And it all stems from your desires. That's what who Mary was. Amen. Shout fire. So in this lesson and in tonight's session, brothers and sisters, pay attention. Grab this lesson. Take a hold of it. Let it manifest for good. Brothers and sisters, this week you must see an angel. You must see an angel. Angels are unleashed in our uncommon dimension for your sake. And may this month of uncommon favor not just end in February. May you have and enjoy a life of uncommon favor. God bless you.
Praise God. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Amen and amen. Shout fire. It's not a prayer service. Shout fire. Praise God forevermore. We give you glory, Lord, as we honor. Can we sing together? We give you glory, Lord, as we honor you, for you are wonderful. Yes, you are worthy. You are wonderful. You are worthy. Praise God forevermore. Can we speak in other tongues too? Talk to the Lord. You are not talking to your mates. Talk to the Lord. Le soto patalia, malitelia kosoto palata, bakara diboko sekete, meke sekete, radabaka sakato, monko soto palitea, makasa katapati. Father in heaven, we thank you. We give you all the glory, all the honor, the power, the praise, all the majesty and the dominion, the maker of the heavens and the earth, and the seas and everything that in them is. Lord, we thank you for the beauty of your Spirit. Holy Spirit, glorify your name. Father, let the words of our mouth and the meditations of our heart be eternally acceptable in thy sight. Father, reveal secrets to us. May our hearts induct a good matter. Thank you for utterance. And may we leave this class better than the way we came. In Jesus' name. Amen, amen and amen. Amen. Champions, shout fire! Shout away! And they all mean what? Anointing in different languages. Amen. So in your own language, you can call the anointing what it is in your language. Amen. Praise God. Hallelujah. We thank the Holy Spirit for the privilege to be here. Say thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And also we thank our Father, Papa Joshua Gila. Say we love you, Papa. Praise God forevermore. All right. We began a discourse in our last class, titled what? The conflict of balance.
Conflict of balance.
Oh, you've forgotten?
No, sir.
So what do we call it?
The conflict of balance.
I think only 3 people can remember.
The conflict of balance.
Well, you had to wait for others to say before you now remembered. So can we all say it now?
The conflict of balance.
One more time.
The conflict of balance.
The question is, why this subject? Why do we need this subject? This subject is necessary because we have been told by the different stratas or custodians of the different stratas in different areas of our lives how to attain or achieve a balanced life.
Yes, sir.
For instance, we were told to go to school.
Yes.
That once you get your degree, once you are educated, you will have a balanced life.
Yes, it's true.
Then you graduated and discovered not necessarily. You are not even there yet.
Yes, sir.
So you were told to get a good job.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then, of course, while doing the job, you were told to go and get a master's.
Yes, sir.
And you find yourself keep learning, keep learning, keep learning.
Yes.
Now, of course, in America today, we call a teacher professor.
Yes, sir.
So there are people who are generally called professor because they are teachers.
Yes.
But then there are others who have it as a degree.
Yes, it's true. Exactly.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you don't know? Please answer us now. There are some people, they have it as a degree.
Yes.
They have their doctorate. From their doctorate, they now go
Yes.
to study more and become full-fledged professors.
Right.
In case you don't know.
Yep.
So you can see professor as a prefix to their name. So you can say Professor McIntosh.
Yes.
He has a professorial degree.
Yes.
He is not called a professor because he teaches.
Right. Right.
He is an authority in that field.
Yes.
And many have achieved that height of academic success. Yet, they still haven't found the balance they've been looking for.
Yes.
And the reason why this is so is because balance is a law.
Balance is a law.
Just as you have the law of gravity,
Yes, sir.
you also have the law of balance.
So law of balance.
Please answer us now.
Law of balance.
The law of balance.
Law of balance.
We all know what the law of gravity says. That anything that goes up
Must come down.
must come down. Then you also have the law of balance.
Yes.
And one question you must ask yourself is, what is the law of balance?
Yes, sir.
There are different laws they teach us in school.
Yes.
In fact, the law of gravity is what some people even think suggests balance. That once you are on a flat surface on the ground, you have balance.
Yes, sir.
Please participate now.
Yes, sir.
But gravity has nothing to do with balance.
Yes, sir.
Here, when we're talking about balance, we're talking about an insight that comes through sight.
An insight that comes through sight.
Insight.
Insight.
See, knowledge brings insight
Yes, sir.
through understanding.
Yes.
And so, the insight that comes from the standpoint of how you see things, the way things really are. An insight that comes through sight.
The insights that comes through sight.
And these can never be obtained through academic knowledge. These can only come through the revelation of the Spirit of God. Go to 2 Corinthians chapter 4. That's our theme scripture. We began introducing you to the law of balance. 2 Corinthians chapter 4.
Yeah.
Now let's look at verses 16 to 18. He says, for which cause we faint not. That means we do not give up.
Wow. Yes, sir.
He said, for this cause we do not give up. Even though our outward man perisheth, yet the inward man is renewed daily.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So he says here there's a renewal that goes on daily. And this has nothing whatsoever to do with cosmetics.
Right.
He says, because the outward man, your physical outlook can fail, you can give up.
Yes, sir.
So you find a lot of people go through the pain. They spend a lot
Yes.
trying to pad up,
Yes, sir. Yes.
you know, make themselves feel new again.
Yes. It's renewed. Yeah.
So there are different creams today.
Yes.
They advertise on TV
Yes.
for sagging, for wrinkles, for freckles,
Yes, sir.
for eye sacs, for
Yes.
different things. But Paul says, you are investing in the wrong thing.
Right.
There is something, he says, that needs to be renewed. The inward man.
Yes, sir.
Irrespective of how we look outside. You know, science today has come up with a new discovery that someone can be 50 years old, but inwardly may be 20.
I like that. Yes, sir.
I was reading it one time, last year, an editorial, a scientific editorial. And that is why such people, they can plan and plan, and you think, is this one not going to die? Really, there's something in them that is youthful. And it's a consciousness.
Yes,
It is not what they eat.
Yeah.
It is who they really are.
Yes, sir.
He says the inward man
The inward man
is renewed daily.
renewed daily.
Now you think about this. If this inward man dominates the outward man, what a man such a person would be.
Yes, sir. I receive.
That's why somebody can ask me, how old are you? And sometimes when I tell them my age, they don't believe it. They say you look 18, you look 24.
I receive.
Because there is something I have consciously allowed to happen to me.
Yeah. The
My inner man
Yes, sir.
must dominate the outward man.
Yes, sir.
It is a must.
It's a must. Yes, sir.
And this inner man, he says, is renewed.
Yes, sir.
But the question is, how
Yes.
can you recognize your inner man and see what happens to him or her every day? How? Do you know you can be physically sick? Physically,
Yes, sir.
outwardly
Yes.
Sir.
sick.
Yes.
Please answer me.
Yes,
on that.
sir.
But your inward man can dominate that sickness
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
and flush it out of
Yes,
your
sir.
body
Yes, sir.
without prayer. That was God's original plan, which was why he created the human cell. Because the first scientist is God himself. There's a reason why he did not give you feathers.
Yes, sir.
There's a reason
Right.
that he gave the human person
Yes.
cells instead of feathers.
Yes. To renew.
Not that he cannot give the human person feathers.
Yeah.
He did it with King Nebuchadnezzar.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
See that? So it's easy with God. But there was a reason why he gave you cells.
Yes, sir.
There was a reason.
Yes, sir.
Because actually the cells actually renews itself every 7 years.
Yes, sir.
Every 7 years. So how many 7 years are in a lifespan? Let's say somebody dies at 70.
Yeah.
Or let's say somebody dies at 90.
Yeah.
How many 7 years each is within the 90 years?
About 12.
About 12.
Yeah.
So that means that the person's entire body was renewed 12 times.
Yes.
God did it. That's even the outward man.
Yes, sir.
Science have proven it, that the outward body, the cells, can renew itself 7 times. That is why to this day it's still a mystery to science why people die.
Right.
Because the human body was not designed to die.
Yes.
The thing, even with you that owns the body, you will not even know when your body is overhauling itself. The thing, it was programmed that way, it is automatic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, on your mobile phones today,
Yeah.
you need to, the thing updates itself, but it needs your permission, whether you want to do it now or later. This one, the way God did it, no permission.
Yes, sir.
The thing does it by itself. The human cells,
Daily.
not daily, now every 7 years.
7 years.
The outward body,
Yes, sir.
even though Paul says it still perishes. So you see the need for the renewal.
Yes, sir.
You see that?
Yes, sir.
He says it will, that means it will take 7 years to renew itself, to overhaul itself,
Yes.
because of what is happening. It's perishing. Right?
Yes.
And Jesus said, if you believe in him, you will not perish.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Kai. But then Paul says here, even though that thing is operational, and the renewal takes about, according to science now, 7 to 8 years
Yes, sir.
for the entire human body to overhaul every 7 years or 8 years.
Yes.
Paul says here, the inward man, its renewal is daily. Question, by what calendar do we measure the daily? Is it by God's spiritual daily calendar? Is it by the Roman calendar? Because that's another thing you need to ask yourself. What do you mean by daily? And that's how here you see the need for balance. You need to understand.
Yes, sir.
Very true.
You see your sight.
Yes.
How do you see? You see, one day a lady came to see us for prayers, and we were just talking.
Yes, sir.
So I saw she was wearing a wedding ring.
Yes, sir.
A wedding ring.
Yes, sir.
And we were just talking. So I was going to say something. I can't remember exactly what I was going to say to her. Then the Lord said, she's not married.
Wow.
I said, Lord, she's wearing a wedding ring. The Lord whispered to me, she's not married. I said, maybe she has a fiancé. The Lord said she doesn't have anyone. I said, but Lord, she's very, maybe the husband died. The Lord said she was never married before. This lady is not married. Ask her. No, then the Lord said, ask her. As I was going there, he said, no, don't ask her, tell her. I said, madam, you are not married.
Yes, sir.
That was too direct.
Yeah.
But that was what the Lord said, tell her she's not married. I said, madam, you are not married, but you are wearing wedding ring.
Yes, sir.
She said it's true. In my mind, I said, Lord, you are awesome.
Yes, sir.
Why? You see, I was trying to communicate with her on the basis that this is a married woman. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
But the Lord was telling me, that's an imbalance there. The real thing here, because now she came for prayers.
Yes, sir.
She came to say, you see, one of the things, even if God is going to use you in the prophetic, one of the things you must understand is the law of balance, even in seeing. That's, you see that?
Yes,
I saw the wedding ring in her finger, on the wedding finger.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
By all estimation, that suggests that what? She's married. But the Lord who sees
Yes.
clearly,
Yes.
because God is the most balanced person. He initiated the law of balance.
Yes.
He said she's not married. And that was balance.
Yes, sir.
I don't know that you got it.
Yes, sir.
Because insight influences is as a result of your sight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There was an insight God gave me
Yeah.
beyond what I was looking at.
Yes, sir.
Beyond the sight.
Yes.
That this lady is not married.
Yes.
Yes, she was wearing a wedding ring.
Yes.
Now imagine the Lord did not tell me that she was not married. I'd have been saying, oh, you know, how is your husband in your marriage? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Completely miss it.
Yes.
And she can play along as if that's a fake prophet.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
You see that?
Yes.
What do you think I've brought? A conflict
Yes.
inside in the law of balance.
Yes.
I've twisted, I've dented
Yes.
the law of balance
Yes.
because of how I see it. See, that was what the Lord said to Samuel the seer. I don't see the way man sees.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, thank you, Lord.
See that?
Yes.
And we need this. You need this in your life.
Yes, sir.
See, listen. Out of several options,
Yes.
when it comes to which job to take,
Yes, sir.
how do you know which one you should take? How do you know?
Insights.
Because that's where the law of balance comes in.
Yes, sir.
Listen,
Yes, sir.
you see, favor, you see this thing we call, that's why we're taking time to make you understand the mystery of favor.
Yes, sir.
Because there's a way you can have a testimony and call it the favor of God, and then 3 years down the line, you regret having that thing you called the favor. Question, was it really favor to begin with? Because you called it favor for the past 3 years until something now finally happened. You now started regretting what kind of favor this was. The thing is that the thing was never favor to begin with.
Yes.
But because you never understood what the law of balance was,
Yes.
you are not responding.
Yes, sir.
See, let me tell you. Inside me right now as I'm talking to you, I'm angry. You know why?
Why, sir?
Because we have so much to say, but you are not responding as you should. I'm like, man, maybe I'm wasting my time.
Not wasting your time.
Yeah, I'm not angry with you. I'm just angry that these people are not getting. Maybe this is not the people I should be saying this.
Yeah, get it.
Here, we see here there's a problem in verse 16. The outward man is perishing.
Yes, sir.
He said, but the inward man is renewed.
Yes.
But until Paul told them, they didn't know.
Yes.
They didn't know.
Yes, sir.
They were looking at their deficiencies. They were looking at what was wrong in their physical life.
Yes.
Yes.
They were concerned about what they don't have.
Yes.
Paul says, stop it. Stop looking at what is obvious to you that you consider a deficiency.
Yes, sir.
Paul says, there is an inward man
Yes, sir.
that is being renewed daily.
Yes, sir.
It's like somebody say, I've been coming to church. I've not really seen any tangible changes in my life.
Wow.
I've not really seen anything. Paul says you are looking at the wrong thing.
Yes. Insights. Yes, sir.
You are really looking at the wrong thing.
Yes, sir.
Because a time comes, this one dominates this one.
Yes, sir. I receive.
I receive.
A time comes, this guy here,
Yes, sir.
he said the inward man.
The inward man.
My inward.
The inward
The
man.
inward man.
The inward man.
The time comes, he dominates.
Amen. I receive. It's my time. It's my turn.
If the outward man is perishing, that means the sight of the outward man also perishes too.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Here Paul says, look, don't think. Hey. He says, since you've been going to that church, what are the meaningful, tangible changes have you seen in your life?
Yes.
Yes.
If you are just fooling yourself, you are from fooling. A lot of Nigerians use that terminology a lot. If you are deceiving yourself, you go to church to feel high.
Wow.
Paul says, it may look like things are not working now.
Yes. Yes, sir.
See, that's why we tell people, in the day of trouble,
Yes, sir.
when it comes,
Your faith.
then you will now know
Yes, sir.
that the church we've been going to
Yes, sir.
and what we've been hearing in church
Yes, sir.
was not a waste.
Yes, sir. I receive.
There was a renewal
There was a renewal.
that was going on every day.
Yes, sir.
All these years. Every day.
Every day.
All these
All
years.
these years.
Every day.
Yes, sir. Yes.
This was the problem Lot had. He didn't know that Abraham was always talking to the Lord every day.
Yes.
God spoke to him
Yes, sir.
all the time.
Yes, sir. I receive.
Amen.
I receive.
Because God called him.
Yes, sir.
He said, go to a place I will show you.
Yes, sir.
And Abraham journeyed.
Yes.
God spoke to the guy
Yes, sir.
all the time.
Yes.
So you see, when Lot decided to leave Abraham
Yes.
to go and start on his own,
Yes.
he thought his uncle Abraham would crumble.
Yes, sir.
He felt that, look, uncle, you will see that without me,
Yes, sir.
he will not be able to stand.
Yes.
At the end of the day,
Yes.
who crumbled? Lot, right?
Yes.
Because he was looking at what he had, the outward thing, the outward appearance.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Lot never had any servant when he followed his uncle Abraham. The servants he had, the gold and silver he had, it was his uncle who gave it to him. Now he says, man, I have it. I've arrived.
Yes, sir.
And this same guy went to Sodom and Gomorrah, a rich man.
Yes, sir.
Came out of Sodom and Gomorrah as the brokest person ever recorded in the Bible. He was the only person who ended up in a cave. A rich man who ended up in a cave. Why? Because the day he cut off from his uncle, the inward man died. But it took years before he finally saw the manifestation.
Yes.
It took years.
Yes.
He was not married when he left his uncle.
True.
He married, he had children.
Yes.
Everything was still looking on fire.
Yes.
They told me if you touch the anointed, touch me my anointed. Go and see that. I told that prophet he's crazy. You did, no problem.
Yes, sir.
Nothing has happened. Nothing has happened.
Yes.
No problem. No problem. No problem.
Inward man was still reflecting.
And Abraham
Yes, sir.
was still praying for even his nephew.
Yes. Yes, it's true.
The same Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot was forbidden to look at.
Yes.
Abraham was looking at
That is.
it.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you know the distance between Sodom and Gomorrah to where Abraham was?
No.
Question, how did Abraham see Sodom and Gomorrah?
Oh.
Because he switched sides.
Yes, sir.
Abraham did not know what the Lord had planned to do to Sodom.
Yes.
The Lord couldn't hide it.
Yes.
He told Abraham.
I receive. I receive insights. I receive insights.
Anyway, he said, because the inward man is renewed day by day,
Yes, sir.
your affliction is light.
I receive.
But you may see the affliction as something great, something massive, something. You know, one day I asked, you see, my biological father married my mother. The marriage was only for 8 years because my mother married, I think my mother married my father when she was 20, died at 28. So I was 8 years old. And within 8 years, she had 4 children.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, and since that day my biological mother died, my biological father never recovered from it. One day I asked myself, I said, but let's suppose my wife died. Can I really come out of the circumstance? I should. I'm not saying my wife would die, but let's suppose I marry someone who died.
Yes, sir.
I'll say because she died, I can't excel. Because you see, you know why that happened to my biological father? Because his focus was on the outward man.
Yes.
All he knew was about the outward man. That's why people will say, these churches we are going to, what do you do? You don't know what is happening daily on the inside. Now Paul is telling them what was already happening to them. But they were looking at what? The light afflictions, which was outside. Paul says it is light. They saw it as something heavy, something massive. They saw it as, this is a great storm, I can never recover from it. I'm finished. It's over for me. Oh, I can't make it again. This is the final throw. This and that. Paul says, stop it. Stop it. Oh, everybody hates me now. Nobody likes me now. But Paul says, stop it, man. The inward man is being renewed daily.
The inward man is being renewed daily.
You see, one thing about the life of a pigeon is that a pigeon secretes oil every day.
Yes, sir.
God created a pigeon, a dove, in such a way that it secretes oil to clean the feathers.
Yes, sir.
The oil comes out from the pigeon and cleans the feathers.
Yes, sir.
That's why a pigeon and a dove is always clean.
Yes.
Not with the others. The others will need to enter water and wash their body.
Exactly.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So, how do you think that pigeon lives? He lives by the inward operations.
Yes, sir.
Inward renewal.
Yes, sir.
The thing secretes oil
Yes.
every day to clean the feathers.
Yes, sir.
He doesn't have to say, oh, now I'm going to bring out oil to clean my... No, the thing works. The thing is natural.
Yes,
God designed the pigeon.
Yes, sir.
And that is why since the days of Moses, God called the pigeon a clean bird.
Yes.
Called it a clean bird.
Yes, sir.
It was even offered for the redeeming of the firstborn.
Yes. Wow.
Because the thing secretes oil from itself.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Man.
And if you look at that pigeon or a dove,
Yes, sir.
they live in two worlds.
Yes.
They can land.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And when you are running after them, they can be running. They can just be running.
Yeah.
And when they discover your mountain pressure, what do? They take off. Do you understand? They live in two worlds.
Yes, sir. Light affliction.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
When they discover the affliction on the ground is heavy,
Yes.
they take off.
Yes, sir.
Now here, Paul says we are like that.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
This is our landing.
Yes.
The outward man.
Yes, sir.
But when you want to push, we can switch.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I receive.
Go to chapter 10. We want to show you something. We'll come back here. Chapter 10. I just wish you get what we want to show you. Verses 1 says, I, Paul, myself, beseech you, I beg you, by the gentleness, meekness, and gentleness of Christ, who in presence am base among you, but being absent am bold towards you. That means when I'm around you, you hardly hear me talk. But when I'm away, I can't express myself. That's what he's telling them. Because he was writing them a letter.
Yes.
He said, I beseech you that I may not be bold when I'm present with you. He said, you will not like it if I'm standing before you to talk to you. It's better I write it. He said, I beseech you that I may not be bold when I'm present with you with that confidence, wherewith I think to be bold against some. He's talking about how he's angry with some, which think of themselves as if we walk according to the flesh. This is the part I want you to say.
Yes, sir.
He said, don't think everything about me is all that you see on the outside.
Yes.
He said, don't think so. Don't underestimate me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You know?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
He said, don't think all that you see on the outside is all there is about me.
Yes, sir.
Don't let me switch
Yes, sir.
because you will not like it. Look at verses 4. Read. Sorry. Stop. Verse 3. 1 to go.
For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after
You see that? See that?
Yes, sir.
The war is with the inward man.
Yes, sir.
But we walk in the flesh with the outward man. You see us through, we laugh.
Yes.
Paul says, if we want to fight, it's not with outward man.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. He says, though we walk in the flesh.
Yes, sir.
You see us walk physically.
Yes.
As this Paul that we're talking about, church history reports that he was about 4.5 feet tall. He wasn't that tall. Paul says, because you see me look bangere like that, you see me look small.
Yes, sir.
Paul says,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
if I war with you,
Inner man.
it's not with the flesh.
Yes, sir.
It is from within.
Yes, sir.
Hush.
Yes, sir. I receive.
He is saying, what I carry on the inside, if I release it, it will swallow you.
Oh, I receive.
You see me look small.
Yes, sir.
All of it. Now he's writing to an entire church. He said, all of you put together.
Yes.
You can't stand me.
I receive.
Yes, sir.
He says, it's better I write it to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Because if I stand before you,
Sir.
when you see me operate,
Yes.
I'll finish you.
Hi.
I thought men of God are supposed to be gentle, nice. You don't curse people. You don't do this.
Yes, sir.
What's this?
Outward.
Because you see me do those things,
Yes, sir.
don't push it too.
Yes.
For the weapons of our warfare, it says,
Yes, sir.
they are not man-made.
Yes, sir.
That's what it means by carnal.
Yes.
They are not outward
Word.
machinations.
Yes.
They are not outward machineries.
Yes, sir.
He said they are mighty through God. That means this thing, our weapons, it has gone through God.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
God is the canal through which we operate from.
Yes, sir. Wow.
That means, you know, like when you look at warships, the US warships.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You know, jets can land on it and take off. War jets.
Yes, true.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
That's what he's trying to explain here.
Yes.
When he says they are mighty through God, that means our weapons, our jets,
Yeah.
when we take off,
Yes, sir.
God himself becomes the tarmac
Yes, sir.
that will run
I
to
receive.
take to flight. Then you will not know who I am.
Exactly.
When I take preeminence,
Yes, sir.
I can dominate the territory and put everyone hostage. That's what he's saying.
Yes, sir.
Paul says, even when I attack you, I will not just only attack you, I will attack your mind.
Yes, sir.
He said they are cast. He said they are mighty through God, and I will pull down strongholds. Cast down your imagination. Whatever you are thinking, I will destroy it. Yet I did not touch you.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes.
I did not say a word to you, but I took off. I entered your mind. I destroyed it. I broke all your defenses. Yet I did not say a word to you. I was still looking at you,
Inner man.
but I've already gone ahead to destroy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Paul says, don't push it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Don't push it.
Yes, sir.
You know, people think the most a man of God can do is to place a curse on you. Paul says it's the least thing.
Yes,
You
sir.
should be glad you were even cursed by a man of God.
Wow.
You know what it means to throw down imaginations?
Hi.
You understand?
Yes.
That means in your entire life you will lack the ideas for inventions. You will never see inventions. Your mind will never be coordinated. You understand? You will lack moral reasoning. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You'll be remanded in a psychiatric home. Because by the time I attack you, I will destroy every imagination. You will see blue, black. You will see red, green.
Yeah.
Even your loving wife, you see her as a witch. Because I can attack your imaginations.
The inner man.
This one is not curse.
Yes, sir.
He says, I will cast down imagination. Then every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. Question, who brings the knowledge? He was talking to the church, he was training.
Yes.
Anything you think of, I will destroy it.
Exactly.
Here he is telling them, when he says anything that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, Paul says, anything you go to learn
Yes.
from another place,
Yes.
it can never be better than what I've taught you. And as long as I was the one who taught you everything you knew about God,
Yes.
I'll be the one to destroy you. That's what he's saying here.
Yes, sir.
Yet he's not saying it's going to be physical.
Yes.
Now he's not talking to Satan.
Yes.
He's talking to Christians.
Yes.
His own church.
Yes.
Yet he's writing today. He says it's better I'm not saying these things before you.
Yeah.
It's better I write it. So I say so. But as you don't say it before us, we are teaching you. You understand?
Yes, sir. Knowledge. Insight.
Then he now says, I will bring you into captivity. Wait, didn't Jesus say the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he had anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor,
Yes.
to mend the brokenhearted,
Yes.
to preach deliverance to the captives?
Yes.
Paul says, I will bring you into captivity. Even the
Yes.
preaching of the gospel will never deliver you.
Oh my God.
He says he will bring them into captivity. Every thought to the obedience of Christ. Now, let's leave all this side that we read. He is telling them what he can do.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Not that he did it to them. He said, I can do it.
Yes.
Don't size me.
Outward.
Don't size me up by how you look at me.
Yes.
You may see my afflictions.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
They are light to me.
Yes.
They are little. They are trivial.
Yes.
They may look big and you think because of that you want to take advantage
Yes.
to attack me. Paul says, don't push it to. That thing is nothing to me.
Yes.
I can crush it.
Yes,
You know, a lady, she's a nurse. She had issues at work. Serious issues. And, you know, I don't really know much about nursing, this thing. But she had an issue, and at a point, she had to forward her documents to the state of New Jersey.
Yes.
So, when she came, she actually called us on the phone at first. So, I was traveling to Atlanta.
Yes, sir.
So, I was in Baltimore when she called us. So I said, Madam, don't worry, you are free. She said, no, Bro.Osi, let me explain the gravity of the issue. This thing has gone to the state, this and that. I said, really? She said, no problem. So what am I going to do? I said, what do you want? She said, I want to be free. I don't want them to revoke my license. I said, okay, fine. Do you have a tissue paper? She said, yes. She said, what do I do with the tissue paper? I said, what do you do with tissue papers? She said, well, you throw it away. I said, oh, fine. I said, so get the tissue paper. So she went and got the tissue paper. She was asking me which one. Serviette, paper towel. I said, tissue paper. Anyone.
Yes, sir.
Which one? So she told me the one she got. So I said, now hold it. She said, what has tissue paper got to do with what I told you? I said, well, the case, we want to turn the case to a tissue paper.
Yes, sir.
But I was still driving.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
To her, she thought I just made a decree. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Because what I only told her was, now take it, squeeze it, throw it into the garbage. What she didn't know was that I was driving. I was in Baltimore, traveling to Atlanta. When I told her to go and get the tissue paper, when she put me on hold to go and get the tissue paper, I already went ahead. But I was driving to Baltimore. But the inward man left already.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
We went to that state board. Paul says we do not do war in the flesh.
Yes, sir. We want war in the flesh.
We destroy the imaginations of the panel. This thing is possible. Paul is saying. You understand?
Yes, sir.
But it has to do with you understanding the law of balance. Otherwise, you can cause a conflict in the balance.
Yes.
One day we'll take a class titled Distorted Vision. Distorted Vision.
Distorted vision.
We will take a class on that. You will understand something.
Yes, sir. I see.
So he said, take the tissue, throw it into the garbage. She said, no, I have toilet. I won't throw it into the garbage. I'll throw it. I said, okay, fine. Flush it. I said, so as you have flushed it, you have flushed. I heard her flushing the toilet. So I got to Atlanta Saturday morning. By Monday evening, she called us. She said, oh, yeah, I went for the meeting. I said, so how did it go? She said, Bro.Osi. They only just asked me what is my name. So I told them my name. They said, please go back to work. So she said, I want to bring an offering. I said, Madam, but you know I've known you for 6 years. You never given me an offering before. Now you now had a matter that we converted into tissue paper. Now you want to bring me an offering. She said, yeah, Bro.Osi, honestly, don't be angry with me. I'll be bringing you money now. Of course, later on she had another issue again. She said, I said, Madam, I'm not praying for you. Bring me money. Give me money, you've not giving me money. It's true, I needed money that period. Alright, now go back to chapter 4. Chapter 4. Have you been learning something?
Yes, sir.
What's today's lesson again? The conflict of balance. Go to verses 16, my friend. Here it says, for which cause we faint not, that though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. Now, the question we will ask is, why, or let's put it this way, what is the reason for the outward man perishing? What is the cause? What is the reason behind it? What is behind the outward man perishing? What causes it? I want to show you. He says, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. He said the affliction that you have faced is working to bring to you the weight of glory.
See.
You know what he's saying?
Yes, sir.
You didn't understand what he's trying to say. He's trying to make us understand. Please respond to us.
Yes, sir.
He's trying to see within me. I'm still angry. I am not sure whether you are getting, but I'm just teaching. Someday somebody will listen to this lesson, and the thing will bless the person. See, because for me, I've always wondered, with so much that we teach, I mean, these people should be flying in life. But why? Why are they not flying in life? It's up to you. Now, here, he's talking about an exceeding and eternal weight of glory. Here, he's saying that your glory can be measured. Apostle Peter said, God, he said, grace and peace be multiplied unto you through the knowledge of God and of his Son Jesus Christ, who had called us to a life of what? Glory and virtue. Virtue means excellence.
Yes, sir.
So we've been called to a life of glory. Say that with us.
We have been called to a life of glory.
Say it again.
We have been called to a life of glory.
Are you sleeping?
We have been called to a life of glory.
You don't sound like you mean it.
We have been called to a life of glory.
Wait, you are saying it because we told you to say it, right? Yes. Not because you believe it. So say it now.
We've been called to a life of glory.
I like what you said. I've been called to a
life of glory
and excellence.
and excellence.
Say it again.
I've been called to a life of glory and excellence.
Okay, fine. If that is true, he says the glory of God that you have been called to can be measured. How? How is it measured? He says by the weight. The weight of it will be measured.
Yes, sir.
The weight of the glory of God upon your life can be measured. To know whether that weight, that glory of God in your life can last. He says eternal.
Yes, sir.
You see that?
Yes,
He is saying, he is telling you here that God wants the glory, his glory in our lives,
Yes, sir.
to last forever.
Amen.
Receive.
Forever. Amen.
Have you not noticed? There are some people, they used to be at the summit of life.
Yes.
Then they fell.
Yes. It's true.
Please answer us now.
Very true.
They used to be in the summit of life.
Yes.
They used to be the front runners.
Yes, sir.
All of a sudden they fell.
Yes. Perish.
Why? Because the word glory there is the word doxa, which means fame.
Yes, sir.
It means that the fame did not carry weight.
Yes.
And the weight couldn't last long.
Yes.
He says here, God has... See, the presidents, the rulers of nations,
Yes, sir.
their glory is not forever.
Yes.
It's for a season.
Yes.
Then they become what? History.
History.
Here, he's not talking about something that will be historical about you. He's saying the thing is everlasting. That means it's still present, continuous.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I receive.
You see, in 2 Corinthians chapter... in this same chapter 4, pause. In this same 2 Corinthians chapter 4, when you read... in 2 Corinthians chapter 3, there was something he said concerning the glory of Moses. He says the glory of Moses was so much on his face that 6 million Jews could not look at Moses. They all had to beg him. 6 million people begged Moses to cover his face. Not because he was a monster. The glory of God.
The glory of God
on his face.
on his face.
How did he get the glory? Through fellowshipping with an angel. Now, don't think Moses, when he walked in his day, he walked with God. All the journey Moses ever made,
Yes, sir.
it was with an angel.
I receive.
His first encounter was with the angel of the Lord, not with God.
Receive it.
It was the angel who told him, I have come down.
Yes. Receive.
Right?
Yes, sir.
The angel told him.
Yes. I receive.
Then he said, the God of your fathers
Yes, sir.
have sent me. That's why when Moses asked, what is your name? He said, I am that I am.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I am that I am.
Yes, sir.
He should have said, I am Yahweh, but he didn't.
Yes.
He said, I am that I am.
Yes, sir.
Because in the angelic, we are present tense. We are as we are. As you see us, that's who we are.
Yes, sir.
That's who we are. Every time you keep seeing us,
Yes,
that's who we are.
Yes,
the way we appeared to you the first time is the way we will always be to you. But when I came to your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, I operated in a different operation. So now I am who I am that I am.
Yes, sir.
That's who I am. But the Bible says it was the angel of the Lord. It didn't say it was God. It was the angel of God.
I receive.
Amen.
You didn't get it.
I got it.
Now, when they built the golden calf,
Yes, sir.
when they built the golden calf, when Aaron built the golden calf, this thing is not part of what we're saying in the lesson, but let's just explain it. But when they built the golden calf, the Lord, the angel,
Yes, sir.
was upset. And then he said to Moses, I will not go with you anymore. But my angel, that will tell you that this angel was a senior.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because he is the angel of the Lord, the angel of Yahweh.
Yes.
He now said, my own angel will not go with you.
Yes.
Because if I go with you, I will kill all of you. But my angel too is like me.
Oh.
Beware of him, don't provoke him.
Yes, sir.
Don't offend him.
Yes, sir.
Because he will not forgive. Moses said, no problem. You understand?
Yes.
So, the first person Moses met in the burning bush was the angel of the Lord. That angel told Moses, go and tell Pharaoh
Yes.
to let my people go.
Yes.
The same angel now was now upset
Yes, sir.
because of what Aaron did.
Yes.
He now said, now my own messenger,
Yes.
this angel
Yes, sir.
of the Lord, is telling Moses now, my own angel
Yes.
will not go with you.
Yes, sir.
Don't provoke him because he will not forgive. So you need to understand,
Yes, sir.
all the encounter Moses had
Yes, sir.
was with an angel.
Yes, sir. I receive.
You know, some people may argue and say, no, you are wrong. It must be God. Go and read Revelation chapter 10. The Bible talks about a mighty angel that is clothed with the cloud.
Yes.
Now, in Numbers chapter 12, it was the Lord who came in the cloud to stand before Miriam and Aaron.
Yes.
With Moses.
Yes.
3 of them.
Yes,
he
sir.
came in the cloud.
Yes.
There are angels like that that are covered with the cloud.
Yes, sir.
Not God Almighty. Where will God go to? God has never left his throne. To where? Where do you want him to go to? If he wants to take a step, where? You think he has space here in the earth?
Yeah.
You didn't get it. See, you are upset. See, the thing is funny to you. It doesn't make sense. But Moses' association with this angel,
Yes, sir.
made the glory of the angel to rub off on his face. You know what that means?
Yes, sir.
Because Moses was fellowshipping with this angel.
Yes, sir.
He began to look like the angel.
I receive. Yes, sir. I receive.
And when, how many of you know that the earth
Yes, sir.
is filled with the angels of God?
Yes,
Please answer.
yes, sir.
In the realm of the spirit, I'm only hearing Pastor Christian's voice that is close to me.
Yes, sir.
Wait. In the realm of the spirit,
Yes, sir.
your voice is like, it is in a canal. It's like I'm hearing, it's like in a tunnel. I'm telling you the truth. As I'm preaching, I'm telling you where I am and what I'm seeing. The earth
Yes, sir.
has more angels than human beings.
Yes, sir.
In case you don't know.
Yes.
There are more demons than humans.
Yes.
There are more angels of God than demons.
Amen.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, just because you don't see them doesn't mean they are not there.
Right. Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And the seraphims confirmed it.
Yes.
In Isaiah chapter 6, Isaiah said, in the year King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord high and lifted up,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
The
sir.
trail of his robe filled the temple, right?
Yes, sir.
And they were screaming unto the Lord, what? Holy,
Holy
are you all.
are you, Lord.
Amen. Now say it now. Holy are you.
Are you, Lord.
The what? The earth is filled with your glory. What do you think they were trying to say? The angels of God, they saturate the whole earth.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Because angels are the glory of God. Yeah, you didn't get it.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes.
And now Moses, by association with one,
Yes, sir. The weight.
the glory from that angel rubbed off on his face. That was the only thing they noticed.
Yes, sir.
Because the face cannot be covered. So they easily noticed the glory of God
I receive.
on Moses' face.
I receive.
They never saw the glory of God on his stomach.
Cover it.
You didn't get it. Oh man, this is the wrong class. Let's close. You didn't get it. They didn't see the glory of God on his neck.
Yes, it's covered.
Because it was covered.
Right. Yes, sir.
They only thought it was on his face. It was even in his fingers.
Yes, sir. I receive. I receive.
Is it only the head of Moses that was fellowshipping? His entire body. The angel said, come up to the mountain.
Yes.
How did he go? With only his head or with his entire body? But just what they saw,
Yes, sir. What's too much?
the face,
Yes, sir.
it frightened them.
Yes.
Imagine if Moses took off his robe. They will all die.
Yes, sir.
So the weight of the glory of God on his face
Yes, sir.
made 6 million Jews to say to him, cover your face.
I receive.
And you know what the Bible calls that glory? The ministry of death. How can a biological born
Yes, sir.
be so transformed
Yes.
within the space of 40 days?
I receive. It's my time. It's my turn.
You know, people say they do 40 days fast.
Yes.
It's okay. It's beautiful. I did it I fasted for 5 years, so I did more than you. Do you understand?
Yes.
The thing is not the fasting. The thing is, where did you go when you fasted? Who were you fellowshipping with? Because 2 hours fellowship with an angel of God can transform you. You didn't get it.
I receive.
Jesus fasted for 40 days. Nothing happened until he said the devil came.
Yes.
But the Bible says when the devil left, 2 angels finally came.
I receive.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And strengthened him.
I receive.
Right?
Yes. I receive.
Paul here. And the Bible says when Moses covered his face, he did not know when the glory faded away. He did not know. Like Lot. He didn't know that the glory of riches was fading away the moment he left his uncle Abraham. The weight of that glory was fading. Fading. Paul says your glory should carry weight. You are not getting it. See, it's bouncing back. Your brother is pushing what we're telling you. It's bouncing back to us. He says the glory of your life, the glory that God has called you to, should carry weight. It should carry weight. People should see you and be afraid.
Yes, sir. I receive.
So this one is more than what Paul was threatening the Corinthian church with.
Yes.
That don't let me go into the spirit to attack you. But Paul here, the same Paul is saying, look, man, the glory, the weight of the glory we carry should be obvious for many to see. Where from the inward man, it dominates the outward. The Bible says the glory of God upon the life of Moses did not cause his physical body to perish. It did not abate. Did not need glasses. At 120, he did not need glasses. He could, from Mount Nebo, he could see the end of the promised land. You know how big the promised land is? He saw everything from a mountain.
Yes, sir.
Do you know the higher you go, the difficult the sight?
Yes.
This guy was seeing what? Everything.
I receive.
When Joshua took over from Moses, they needed to cross Jordan to enter.
Yes.
Moses, from where he was standing, saw everything.
I receive.
Saw beyond Jordan.
I receive.
Saw down to Beersheba.
Yes, sir.
Some men have lived.
It's my time.
And that's what he said. He said, I just began to see your glory. That means I just began to understand this angel. And now you're telling me to die.
Wow.
Oh, man. I like that. I'm not dying now. We do not die. I'm telling you, there's no plan for it. So you need to plan now in case anything. No. Nothing will happen.
Nothing will happen. Yes, sir.
Moses was telling God,
Yes, sir.
I just started.
Yes.
I just started. The guy was still youthful.
I received inner man. Yes, sir.
He was still youthful.
It's true. God, I receive.
You are worried about it because he says, look, your own is too much.
Yes, sir.
But you know, there's always somebody can ask you your age, and when you tell the person is unbelievable.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
I receive. I receive.
Listen, how can Elijah
Yes, sir.
overtake horses? The speed from the inward man
Yes, sir. I receive.
made him outrun horses.
I receive. I like that.
We read these things and we think it is over. It just started. You didn't get it. It just began. You don't believe it. I can understand why you don't believe it. So here now, he's saying, if the glory of God upon your life must carry eternal weight,
Yes.
lasting weight,
Yes.
weight that will always be talked about,
Yes, sir.
the fame
Yes, sir.
that man will keep reliving.
I receive.
See, we talked about Moses.
Yes.
That means that the weight Moses carried still did not die.
Yes, sir.
I mean, even at the Mount of Transfiguration,
Yes.
Apostle Peter fainted.
Yes.
When he saw Moses and Elijah and Jesus and the glory of God that they individually carried.
Yes, sir.
Jesus' glory did not overshadow that of Moses. Moses carried his own, yet he was not a Christian. Carried his own.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And Apostle Peter fainted.
I like it. I receive.
He now said we heard the majestic voice from on high.
Yes, sir.
He was not there when the voice spoke concerning Jesus at the baptism.
Yes.
But this time around, he heard the voice again in Matthew chapter 17. This is my beloved son.
Yes, sir.
Where there were three.
Yes, sir.
So which of the son? Because the voice said, this is my beloved son. So which one are you talking? Because three of them were in the level of glory individually.
Yes.
So when you say this is my beloved son, which one?
Amen.
Is Moses not your son?
Yes.
Well, so Moses is a servant of the Lord. But a servant can carry that kind of weight
Yes.
of glory that can make an apostle to faint.
Hey.
I receive. Lord. I receive.
See, listen. What we're telling you, the door has already been opened. It's a flood of glory.
Glory. I receive.
Hallelujah.
You see, there's a way somebody can be saying bad things about you.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
They can be saying all manner of negative things about you.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Then one day you walked into a place.
Yes, sir.
They saw you face to face.
Yes.
And they are
They started begging the Lord, please forgive me. They saw the good. They said, man, this person is different.
I receive. I receive.
They even went to meet the person who was saying nasty thing about you. They said, God will punish your father. You understand?
Yes, sir. I receive.
There's always somebody can come close to you and see your fingernails.
Yes.
And the person said, no, this one is too righteous.
That one. I receive.
The person comes close to you.
Yes. Yes, sir.
It has started already. Now he is saying, for that glory to be guaranteed eternal potency,
Yes.
for that glory to carry weight,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
you must have afflictions. You must have troubles.
Okay.
You must have challenges.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He is not saying here the weight of glory is evident when everything is going smooth with your life.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There's no glory in that.
Right. Wow.
He is saying there are crises you can face.
Yes, sir.
He said, look, ignore it. It is only light.
Yes, sir.
It is to give weight to your what? Your glory, so that it can last.
Yes, yes, sir. I'm winning. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Light of
It's true.
So if you already carry this weight of glory
Yes, sir.
and you marry, you think the marriage will break?
no.
Or the marriage will last? The glory,
Yes, sir.
the weight of glory
Yes, sir.
that you brought into the marriage will sustain the marriage eternally.
I receive. Yes, sir.
So 50-year golden jubilee is not a big deal.
Yes, sir.
We're looking at something that is eternal.
Yes, sir.
That is renewing us. The marriage, some people say that they need to go and renew their marital vows. There's no need for that. The glory has renewed it. And it's renewed daily. And the thing carries weight. See, you are not getting
Yes,
it.
sir.
But how would you know? How would you know how this thing operates? How would you know that this is already working? He's telling them what was already going on in their lives, even though they did not know it. But how can you take consciousness? How can you recognize that this thing is working? He says here, Why we look not at the things which are seen? What are the things that we see? The outward man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
But are the things which are not seen.
Yes.
Which is what? The inward man.
Yes.
Not in the, and the inward man is not in the spirit.
No.
That's the thing.
Wow.
He's not in the spirit.
Wow.
When he talks about the inward man, then you get to see. Notice he used the word look. He's talking about here he's talking about how you see still with your physical eyes.
Yes.
Remember in our last class we told you he's still with these same physical eyes.
Yes.
You see, listen, there's a way a prophet can come. I'm seeing you have issues at work.
Yes.
Your work is in the spirit or is in the physical. Right?
Yes.
So I see your house address is 59 this.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Now, is that house in the spirit or in the physical?
Yes.
The person is prophesying to just came from there.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, even when you see the prophet talk that way, say all this and you confirm it to be true, his sight was still within the corridors of the physical.
Yes, sir.
You don't understand?
Yes, I understand.
Yes, sir.
I receive. Yes, sir. I receive.
He says, why will you look not at the things which are seen,
Yes, sir.
but at the things which are not seen?
Yes.
For the things that we see, he says, are temporal. They can change.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes,
They can change. They are subject to change. They are temporal.
Yes.
They can change.
Yes.
He says, but the things that we do not see,
Yes.
notice the expression, the things we do not see
Yes, sir.
are eternal.
Yes.
If we do not see them, why should we look?
That's right.
You see that?
Yes.
See, you are not flowing with us, man. You are not getting it. I know you are not getting it. You are not getting it. And I don't know why you are not getting it. We've tried to be very simple with it. Why are you still not getting it? All right. Let's explain this one. To explain this one better, go to Matthew chapter 13. Let's see if this one, if Matthew chapter 13 cannot help you, then we can't help you. If Matthew chapter 13 cannot help you, he says, why we look not at the things that are seen, but at the things which are not seen.
Yes.
So is it possible
Yes, sir.
to look at something that cannot be seen?
Yes.
He's saying it is possible.
Yes.
Then if it is possible to look at something that cannot be seen, it means that the thing can be seen.
Yes. I'm looking at it.
Yes, the glory that is coming.
Notice he didn't say why we see the things that are seen.
Right.
Notice that.
Yes, sir.
He didn't say why we see the things that are seen.
Yes.
Is that what he said?
No.
He also didn't say why we see the things that are not seen.
Yes. He didn't say
He said why we look.
Yes.
He says we should look at the things that are not seen.
Yes.
How? How do we do that? Now, this is where preachers miss it. Traditional Christianity preaches that the things that are not seen are in the spirit. He is not talking about the things that are in the spirit.
Yes.
Whatever can be seen and cannot be seen is still within the seen.
Yes.
It's still within the world of the seen.
Yes.
Yes.
See something. Jesus here told the people the parable of the sower.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Amen. All right?
Amen.
Please answer.
Yes.
We will soon close.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. He gave them the parable of the sower.
Yes, sir.
And if you read that story, it makes sense. It's simple.
Yes.
I think, let's start from verses 33. Let's start from verses 1. The same day Jesus went out of the house and sat by the seaside. And great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat. And the whole multitude stood on the shore. And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying. Now, who is writing this? Matthew. Matthew is the one saying that he was speaking in parables.
Yes, sir.
But as at this time, Jesus did not tell them he was speaking parables.
Right.
So, and he spoke many things to them in parable. Now, let's ignore this. He spoke many things to them in parable. Because when the multitudes came, Jesus was on the ship. He started by what? Behold. By the word behold. So this was where he started. He is speaking many things in parable is Matthew's opinion because of what later happened.
Yes.
Okay, so he started by saying what? Behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and fowls came and devoured it. Now, is that not natural?
Yes.
When fowls see seed, they eat.
Yes, it's natural.
Yeah?
Yes.
Please answer now.
Yes, natural.
Don't fowl eat seed?
Yes.
Now, do you think that the people who heard this could not relate with that? They could.
Yes.
It was easy to understand, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Some fell upon the stone places when they didn't have much earth. Forthwith they sprung up, and because they had no deepness of the earth, and when the sun came up,
they were scorched.
Auntie, screw up, right? And what happened?
And because they had no roots, they withered away.
Please read now.
And because they had no roots, they withered away.
Don't be reading like that. Why are you reading as though you are scattered? Let's read together. I mean, we are all reading the same version here. Okay, 1, 2, go.
And when the sun
and the thorns sprang up and choked them.
Verse 7 now, right?
Yeah.
Now read verses 8.
but all fell to good ground and brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, and some 30-fold. Who has ears to hear, let him hear.
Stop. Jesus. Now, you know, there's a way a preacher can preach a message and then cause problem in the message.
Yes.
Honestly.
Now, I do that a lot too. So we were understanding what you were saying. Then you now finally said this thing. It disorganized my mind. I did not disorganize your mind. Your mind was already disorganized before you came. But anyway, if you must arrange someone, you have to disorganize the person to rearrange the person. Anyway. Now, this is where the problem came. Verses 9. This is the problem. Because Jesus, whatever you said to them that we just read was self-explanatory. Amen.
Yes, sir.
Amen now.
Yes.
But now, Jesus now said, he who has ears, let them hear. The moment he said it, the disciples knew what he said was a parable.
That's it. Yeah.
Yes.
Jesus, whatever you said, the people could relate with it.
Yes, it's true.
But the moment he now said in verses 9, he who had ears to hear, let him hear. The disciples say, this problem.
Yes.
So all that we were listening to, we didn't hear it.
Yes. Yeah.
Meanwhile, what he was saying, telling them, the symbols he was using were physical symbols that the people could relate with.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now read verses 10.
And his disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables?
Now, why do you think they asked this question? Because of verses 9.
Yes, sir.
Because he said, he that hath ear, let him hear.
Yes.
So they knew it was a parable.
Yes.
So that means that even when you now read Revelations, when he says, he that hath ear, let him hear what the Spirit is saying, whatever we read to the 7 churches were all parables then.
Wow.
So we need to begin to understand the mysteries behind it.
Oh.
One day we'll take those classes.
Amen.
Here now. Jesus, why are you talking to these people in parable?
Yes.
So all you told us about birds, seed, this is parable. Jesus, you like problems. Jesus, you are a problem maker. You cause problem a lot. So now he's asking. They asked him. You see why now Matthew said he spake a parable unto them? Because
told them really.
Is this something has already happened?
Yes, sir.
So why do you speak in parables? Jesus answered and said to them, because it has been given to you Wait. It has been given to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom. Right?
Yes, sir.
Go to verses 10.
Go to verse 10.
Verse 10 again.
Yes, sir.
Read the first 4 words.
And the disciples came.
Read it again.
And the disciples came.
Read it again.
And the disciples came.
Which means they never heard all Jesus was narrating. They were not around when Jesus was talking to them.
That's true. That's true.
They just came when Jesus was saying, "He that had ear, let him hear." So, why are you speaking to them in parables? Now, the people who were not even present,
Didn't even. Yeah.
Jesus, you are not telling them. They are the ones that are supposed to know the mysteries. Do you know, that's the same case with every man of God God has chosen. A man of God can be preaching now to a church, but his messages are not for the people that he's preaching to. Preaching for some people that are coming. They may look like they came late to the service, but they were the ones the message was meant for.
Disciples came.
They were just newly initiated.
Yes.
He said to them, "It has been given for you to know the mysteries of the kingdom."
Yes, sir.
But to these ones, it has not been given. Now, the word mysteries here, where's that word? Mysteries here in verses 11, is what Paul was trying to communicate when he says, you look at what you cannot see. Stop looking at what you can see. Look at what you cannot see.
Yes, sir.
That's the same thing as the word mysteries here.
Mysteries.
Here, when he says mysteries here, he's referring to something that is meant for the initiated.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It's a secret society word. The word mysteries here is a secret society word. He's saying, okay, when I was joining the fraternity, I noticed that in the fraternity members were speaking English.
Yes, sir.
Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Or are you feeling sleepy so that we can close? Okay, when I was joining the secret society, the fraternity,
Yes, sir.
throughout the period for my drilling,
Yes, sir.
I always hear them speak English.
Yes, yes.
They were always speaking English.
Yes, yes, sir.
What did I say?
They were always speaking English.
Say it again.
They were always speaking English.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
That means they were what? Always speaking English.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We went through several stages before initiation.
Yes, sir.
So now we're now in the final stage, which is the grooming session.
Yes.
The grooming session is the last stage before initiation.
Yes.
And that grooming session lasted about 6 months.
Yes, sir.
And I recall when we crossed the stage before the grooming session, so, because we were about 500 boys, the school I graduated from had different campuses. So from different campuses, we had about 5 different colleges. Like you have Rutgers today.
Yes, sir.
Rutgers has different campus.
Yes, sir.
You have Rutgers New Brunswick, Rutgers Newark, Rutgers Camden.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes.
I graduated from a school like that. We had different colleges,
Yes, sir.
but still the same university.
Yes.
And they are in different cities, different towns,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
still within the state.
Yes.
Now, we were about 500 boys from different colleges
Yes, sir.
within the same university.
Yes.
About 500. And when we went through all the drills, only 30 of us made it for the grooming to be initiated out of 500. Only 30 of us. That will tell you how serious the drill was.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, when we made that stage, when we got to, when we passed the stage before the grooming session, it was announced to us by one of the leaders that now you all made it, 30 of you now have made it to the grooming session. Once you make it to the grooming session, you are sure to be initiated.
Yes, sir.
There's no other. So everyone was always looking forward to making it to the grooming session. If I can make it to the grooming session, I know. In fact, they'll start, then at that point, they'll start calling you brother.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes,
although they can still do what they like to you, boss. They know that this one is already a brother.
Yes,
do you understand? Okay. Now, when it was announced to us that we have made it to the grooming session, the announcer said, now, so actually the high priest who was in charge of the ceremony said, now you have made it to the grooming session, now we want to teach you our language.
Yes. Oh, we speak in English though.
So I said language. Do they have a language? They've always been speaking English.
Yes.
So they said, we want to teach you our language.
Yes, sir.
And they began to teach us. And it took us 6 months. How many months? 6 months. Exactly 6 months to learn the language. And guess what the language was? English.
Yes.
But this time around, the English was completely upside down. So all the while they were speaking,
yes, sir,
all the English I was hearing them speak in the past 2 years when we began the drills,
yes,
till we made it to the grooming session, it was actually their language.
Yes.
But if I take it literally by what they were saying, I would completely miss what they were saying.
Exactly.
But it was English.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Listen, even the FBI and CIA need to come and learn codes from that fraternity. I'm telling you, it was an amazement.
Yes, sir.
And only few people had the handbook. I stole it from one of the leaders. And I confess in Christ.
Yes, sir.
I stole the handbook. And I learned it back and front. To this day before God, I can never forget. I learned it back and front, cover to cover.
Yes, sir.
I learned everything. So you see, one can say, man, take a seat now. Why don't you sit on the chair there? Now that chair, that when he said take a seat, I know that. And I started noticing during the grooming session. Yeah. When some person said to this person, take a seat. He went somewhere. I did not see him go to the seat to sit down. But he said, take a seat. And I started recalling, oh, because now the groomer, the guy doing the grooming now has told us, when you hear take a seat, it means this. And I said, oh, yeah. No wonder. When some person was told, take a seat, I didn't see him sit down. He went to do this. See, well, what do you think? We were being taught. The language of the initiated.
Yes, sir.
That's the meaning of the word here, mysteries.
I receive.
Here, Jesus is saying, whatever you hear me say concerning this particular parable,
It's really for disciples.
this is only for the initiated.
Yes,
So you are not truly a Christian. That means a follower of Jesus Christ if you don't understand this parable of the sower. Really. So that means that this should be the beginner's class, understanding the mysteries of even this parable of the sower. Because even though it was translated, Jesus gave the interpretation which was translated, certain things were still missing.
Yes.
Because if you say you were really initiated, were you?
Oh.
How come along the way in your Christian walk, you gave way? Then it took you 3 years before you came back again. So the question is, were you really initiated? And why is it that your pastor, when he preached, you had a problem with the message? You said you disagree and you were leaving. That means that was not the fraternity you should be part of.
Right.
You were not the initiated. Now we can see why you walked away. Now Jesus was saying this to 12 men, but meanwhile he had 70 disciples.
Yes.
Only 12 out of the 70 were initiated. 12.
12.
70 walked away.
Yeah.
The other 12, that means they were what? 82.
Yes, Yes, sir.
With the 2 disciples Jesus had, 70 walked away, only 12 were initiated.
Yes.
Like we said, we were 500 boys who applied, and only 30 of us were initiated after 2 years.
Yes, sir.
And now we're being taught the what?
The language.
The language of the initiated.
Yes, sir. Mysteries.
I discover what was called car. Car, C-A-R, car.
Yes, sir.
Which is what?
Car.
Your car, your automobile.
Yes.
In the fraternity, car means something different.
Right.
Oh my God.
And what they call car,
Yes, sir.
what was called car in the fraternity is something you never imagined will be referred to with a car, yet it is English word.
Yes.
Completely reversal.
Yes.
But only the initiated understood.
Yes.
So we can be talking among ourselves.
Oh,
You understand?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. In the mystery.
You can be saying, oh, this is what they are saying. You can be rising.
Yes.
You don't know jack what we're saying.
Mystery.
And it was something we enjoyed doing. The fraternity language was something I like to speak every time.
Yes, sir.
And this language, then when I was in the fraternity, it excited every one of us. That was why we always desired to go and visit a fraternity member.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you, when we joined the fraternity, our greatest joy was when we saw each other.
Yes, sir.
When we were greeting each other on campus. We were so excited.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
There's a way I can give a signal.
Yes, sir.
I can stand in the midst of the campus and give a signal. All the fraternity members in different classes, in different faculties will all come out.
Yes, sir.
All the members in our fraternity,
Yes, sir.
they will all come out and come and meet me where I'm standing. And they will all hear the signal.
Yes.
What? How? See, I see mysteries.
Yes, sir.
These things are possible,
Yes, sir.
emphatically yes, but it is only for the initiated. So Jesus here is saying, it is given, this parable is for the initiated.
Yes, sir.
So why are these guys not initiated? See what Jesus said. For whosoever heart, more will be given. Oh, now we see why Christians suffer lack. The reason why some Christians don't always have is because they have not been initiated. This one is not sowing seeds. This one is not about giving. This thing is not about tithe. It is more than tithe. That when you tithe, God will bless you. No, Jesus said, once you are initiated, you will always have. And if you do, more will be given. So the question is, why did you live in lack? Because you have not been initiated. Though you are a Christian, though you came to hear sermons from the church, from the minister, the question is whether you have been initiated. Because the first sign of your initiation is that you will always have.
Yes,
You will always have. And he says, if you have, more will be given unto you. More.
Yes, sir.
More. You don't even need to ask for it. More will be given. More will be given. Know that we have entered that realm. This thing is for the initiated.
Yes, sir.
He says, more will be given unto you.
Amen.
He said, but the one who does not have, even what they have will be taken.
Yes.
So we can take from those who have not been initiated.
Yes, sir.
We can oppress them.
Yes.
Hey, you didn't get it. So here Jesus is saying, look, there's a spiritual complex that is going on.
Yes.
Some people are higher than others
Yes.
by knowledge, secret knowledge, encoded knowledge.
Mysteries.
Some people are more superior
Yes, sir.
than others
Yes, sir.
because of their initiation.
Yes, sir. I was born to know.
You see,
Yes, sir.
my concern as a person, as a Christian, you know what my personal concern is? Would you like to know?
Yes, sir.
It shouldn't be a business, but I can tell you. Do you understand? But my personal concern is, how will it look if I stand next to an occultic person? Maybe an occultic grandmaster. Maybe an occultic priest. Maybe an occultic agent. An occultic living grandmaster.
Yes, sir.
Who has understanding of the metaphysical, the ethereal realm, the psychic world, understand the principles and the tenets and how those things operate,
Yes, sir.
understand the names of spirits.
Yes.
A living grandmaster in the occult. vicious occult or astral occult. He stands next to me, and I call myself a Christian, a minister. I don't know half of what he knows. He will finish me.
It's over.
You don't understand this. I've preached in a place before, and I was interpreting. I was explaining the inner workings of the inner operations of the human soul. I've never preached it in church, but I was preaching it somewhere in a church. So let's understand the soul, the inner operations of the soul, how the soul operates. I was teaching it. I didn't know that there was an occultic man sitting. And I started teaching, started showing it from the scriptures. I've never preached it here. But somebody invited me. So he said, come and teach us something about... The guy heard me say that man doesn't need to be a spirit.
Yes.
He just heard me say that man is a soul alone, that God made him is enough. You don't know how powerful the human soul is. So he heard me say and told his pastor that there's a guy who says he has an understanding. So they invited me. He asked me for my number and I didn't know why. So he invited me to the pastor's house. So the people gathered. And one of them was an occultic man. I did not know. When I was interpreting the operations of the human soul, how it works. And I started talking about how you can move from scripture.
Yes, sir.
How you can move here where you are and enter Canada and influence things.
Yes, sir.
And I started explaining the scriptures.
Receive.
I've never preached it here. It's something I'm not permitted to preach it. I can't preach it here. If I must preach that, my papa must give me permission to do so. I can't preach that. But since I was in another church, and that was what I was invited to come and explain, I was at liberty to explain that thing. When I was done, they gave refreshments. I was drinking soda. The people, they still reach out to me. They asked me when I can. I told them there's a part 2. So they've been inviting me since last year for a part 2. I said I'll make a time to come. But for now, let's just put it on hold. I was drinking soda during there's a place, cookies.
Yes, sir.
So I was drinking soda. That's how somebody tapped me on my shoulder. So I turned. I saw. I did see him in the crowd. It wasn't really a crowd. They were about close to in the gathering. There were about 30 to 35 people. It's a living room of the pastor. So the guy tapped me. He said, "My name is so something Mr. Jones." To say here, and he told me that he's a member of so. He mentioned the occultic group. Have I heard of it? I said I've heard of it. He said, really, I must say, in all my studies, he started giving me their topics that they deal with. He said, I've never heard this before. He said, I just want to shake your hand. I said, when he was shaking me, I saw his ring. So we shook hands. We shook hands. He said, he now whispered to me, he said, honestly, we will need people like you to come and join us in the occult. Wait, don't say. He said, we will need people like you to come and join us in the occult. He said, do you know what I believe? I said, what do you believe? He said, I believe all that you taught here today, it was a waste. These people, they came to you fascinated. They don't understand what you were saying. He said, did you notice while you were preaching, I was looking at you and I did not blink. I said, I noticed. He said, because I've never heard it before. This knowledge has given me an opportunity to go a step higher than my peers. He said, now he's going back to go and challenge his master. He said, now on that grounds, he will be promoted.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
But he came to learn it in church. But the people The people who invited me to come and preach are waiting for part 2. This occultic guy said this part 1 alone has given me access for promotion.
Because they live in there.
So I told him, he now asked me if I've ever been a member of the OCOD. I said no. I only did campus fraternity, but I didn't do. He said, but did you learn it? I said, no, I learned it. The Holy Spirit taught me what I'm teaching. He laughed. He asked me for my number. I said, no need. Anytime you want to see me, reach out to these people. They have my number. But that was an occultic person. He said, what we taught, he will use it to gain promotion. Access. He said, but he knows. He said, I know pastor is there. He now told me the pastor is his cousin. He said, these people that you preach this thing to, I'll just tell you, you wasted the 2 hours you were explaining. He said, but the reason why it's still not a waste is because I believe, he said, the occultic guy, he said, I believe I'm the only person in this room who benefited what you taught today. He said, I'm amazed that this thing that you taught was in the Bible, because I was following the scriptures you were giving. He said, but I'm not sure these people got it. They are waiting for part 2. He said, part 1 will give me promotion in his occultic group. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you know what that means? You know what that promotion means? That means additional ability will be given to him.
Yes, yes.
To do the undo.
Yes.
Do you know what we carry as Christians? We only swell our heads with knowledge.
Practical system.
Now, the guy is an occultic guy. Whatever he knows in the occult. But he came to church to gain balance.
Yes, sir.
So that he can see what we taught. He knows how to size people up.
Yes.
If he wants to attack his cousin who is a pastor, he can finish him.
Yes. Yeah.
That's why I said my concern is if I stand next to an occultic grandmaster.
Yes, sir.
Will he say he know more than I do? Or will I say I know more than he does? And let's be honest. No. Don't. It's not about me knowing more. It's about what we can do with what we know.
Yes, yes.
He is saying he's going back to challenge his master and gain promotion.
Yeah.
And all I was teaching was the inner operations of the soul. Soul. But I can't preach it in church. Can never preach that in church. It was somebody else's church that invited me. He gave me the liberty to explain it. They wrote notes, did video recording. They are waiting for part 2. One says part 1 is enough. We are saying, if you give attention to what we teach you, you will conquer.
Yes, sir.
You will never be afraid. Listen, be a master of circumstance.
Yes,
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. If we tell you that the soul you say you have, the soul, the human soul,
Yes, sir.
the soul
Yes, sir.
is too big for this body to accommodate. If we tell you, see now, but I can't explain, I can't preach it here, I'm not permitted to. I preach it now, you think we invite you for occultic initiation. Imagine if I personally want to hold a symposium outside church. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you know how much I will make? I want to teach you operations of the esoteric. If I do flyers now and I say occultic grandmaster, anybody come, I want to teach on the operations of the esoteric or efficient projection. You know people that will flood that hall, and if I tell them $1,000 per registration, they will give me gallantly. But you know, the person that will criticize that symposium will be a Christian. Why are we paying that much? Is it not freely you have received? Why don't you give us freely? Well, you know how I got the knowledge.
Yes, sir.
You see why Jesus said this thing is for the initiated.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That was what Paul was trying to explain. He says, don't look at what can be seen. Look at the unseen.
Yes,
so which means that thing, the reason why that thing is unseen is because we have not been looking at it.
Yes.
But really, it can be seen.
by the initiated.
But you are thinking it has to be in the spirit. He is saying whatever is addressing is still physical. Have you not seen birds? Have you not seen birds eat seeds?
Yes.
Yes. Is it in the spirit?
No.
But Jesus is addressing something. He said they are not looking. See what he said. Let's just close. He says, therefore I speak to them in parables, because they see not. That's the point.
Yes.
Seeing,
But
see not. Paul calls it what? Looking at the seen and not looking at the unseen.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Why? See what it says. And hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which says, by hearing they hear not, and shall not understand. And seeing they shall look, and never be able to understand or perceive. Right? What is perception? Knowledge acquired over time through observation. You see, look, observe.
Yes.
We'll continue in our next class. Oh man. Listen.
Yes, sir.
Take your spiritual work serious. That's why we say, if your colleague is a wizard, let's suppose you have a colleague,
yes, sir,
at work who is a wizard,
yes,
and you call yourself a Christian, how can you win? You will call in the name of Jesus. He will slap you. The more you are calling, the more he will slap you. Woo! I'm not an ordinary Christian.
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 Well, you don't sound like you mean it. I'm not an ordinary Christian. I'm not an ordinary Christian. I don't know whether you mean it. I'm not an ordinary Christian. I'm not. I'm not an ordinary Christian. Do you know how many occultic people go to church? They will hear sermons. Do you know how many occultic people give offerings? And they are not attacking church finance. They are partners to the pastor. Say, pastor, keep preaching. We'll put you on there, keep preaching so that we can gather knowledge. Knowledge. Because they know this pastor or this man of God, these mysteries that they know, they will give anything to get it. So say, no, service is too long. Just preach for 30 minutes, then close. Not an occultic man. He wants to know what he can know.
Yes, sir.
Why do you always need prayer? Now notice, if you notice, I didn't say why do you always pray? Because it's good to pray. Yeah. We say, why do you always need prayer? Some people today are in the realms of needing prayers. They need prayers. They need prayers. They need prayers. Is that how you're going to remain all your life? Needing prayers? I need prayer. Please pray for me. I need prayer. Please pray for me. I need prayers. Please pray for me. I need prayers. Even those who say, it's okay, I'm fine. They are not fine at all in their lives. They even need the prayers.
Yes.
Hi. What can you command in your life? What can you be in charge of? Come on, man. Take charge of something in your life. But maybe not you, but you see, you are not even sure that you can take charge of anything in your life. What can you take charge of? You don't believe you can. After that, I recall that class that day with that church. We were all eating. What's that thing they sell in Dunkin' Donuts that has black on it that is round?
Donuts?
No, not donut. That's flat. No. Oat that is made of oat that is flat. You don't know what they call it? Huh? No. Raisin.
Cinnamon raisin bagel?
Yeah, oatmeal raisin that is flat. Cookies. We were all eating the cookies. They were picking the one they were drinking. This guy came and tapped. He said, I want to shake your hand. And I didn't know he was an occultic man. See that? That kind of person, if I tell that person now, somebody is trying to fight me, what do you think he will do? He say, look, tell me the person, I will attack the person for you. Do you know?
Yes.
Hey. Listen. Say, I'm not ordinary.
I'm not ordinary.
The things you hear here,
Yes.
do they sound ordinary to you?
No.
Are the things you hear here ordinary?
No, sir.
So why do you think your life will be ordinary?
I'm not ordinary, and I'll never be ordinary. I'm not an ordinary person.
I will never fall in my
I
life.
will never fall in my life. I never go down, and I'll win all the time.
I win all the time. I like that. You are tired. You sound tired. Hey. You know, if I was a demon, I would not even take you serious. I win all the time. It sounds like only Pastor Christian is really. Well, is it that you are thinking about your life or what? We didn't tell you to think about your life. We say take command of your life now. It is possible you couldn't control some things in the past, but take charge of your life now. I win all the time. Say it like you mean it. I win all the time.
I will never go down in my life.
My inward man overlaps into my outward man. And they are both renewed every day. Talk to the Lord. They are both renewed every day. Every day of my life.
My inner man overlaps my outward man. My finances are renewed every day.
I win all the time. We do not fail. We do not fail. We cannot fall. I win all the time. You sound tired. I'm surprised you are tired. I win all the time. Yes, sir. The afflictions are light. I'm listening to Pastor Christian. I can't even hear your own prayer. Pastor Christian is praying for himself. It looks like he's the only person who is getting it. I win all the time. I win all the time. I prevail. I win all the time. I'm not ordinary. I'm not ordinary. I'll never be small. I'll never be small in my life. I'll never be small in my life. Kai. I win all the time. Kai, you sound tired. Only Pastor Christian is in the name of the Lord. I'm only hearing Pastor Christian. You all sound tired. I win all the time. I can't feel. I can't feel. I cannot feel. I win all the time. I win all the time. I win all the time. I'm not hearing you pray at all. I win all the time. I win all the time. I cannot fail. I cannot fail. I'm a master over the circumstances of my life. No man can determine the circumstances of my life. Pray for yourself. I'm praying. I'm declaring over my life. I win all the time. I win all the time.